So for this part, I will give you also an introduction about the installation and the commissioning. And after that, I will show you a real case, real project state through our through the internet. Before start, I will show you a video on how to install our inverters.
Safety precautions. Select a communication mode. Installation tools. PPE. Installation process. Appearance. Check that the packaging is intact and that the Sun 2000 model is correct. Take out the fittings and put them safely aside for later use. Sun 2000 appearance and port layout. Determining the installation position. Installation environment and position requirements for the Sun 2000. The Sun 2000 must be installed vertically or at a maximum backward tilt of 15 degrees when it is mounted on a wall or a standard support. Space requirements for wall-mounted installation. Installation modes for multiple Sun 2000s. The space requirements for support-mounted installation and wall-mounted installation are the same. Installing the Sun 2000. Remove the security Torx wrench and save it for later use. Determine the hole positions for the mounting bracket and mark them for drilling. Drill holes using a hammer drill. Align the mounting bracket with the holes and secure it using bolt assemblies. Mount the Sun 2000 onto the bracket. Tighten the anti-theft screws on the Sun 2000 and the mounting bracket. Installing the AC power cable. Check that both DC switches are in the off position. Connect a PE cable. Crimp the OT terminals using hydraulic pliers. Loosen the 2 screws on the maintenance compartment door. Open the door and install the support bar. Remove the cover and hang it on the hook of the door. Route the cable through the cable gland. Remove an appropriate length of the jacket and insulation layer from the AC output power cable. Install the AC output power cable. Tighten the cable gland. Installing the DC power cable. Crimp the positive and negative metal contacts onto the positive and negative cables respectively. Insert the positive and negative contacts into the corresponding positive and negative connectors. Secure the tightening screws on the connectors using removal wrenches. Measure the voltage between positive and negative connectors. Remove the dustproof caps and insert the positive and negative connectors into the corresponding positive and negative DC input terminals of the Sun 2000. Installing the DC power cable. Crimp the positive and negative metal contacts onto the positive and negative cables respectively. Insert the positive and negative contacts into the corresponding positive and negative connectors. Secure the tightening screws on the connectors using removal wrenches. Measure the voltage between positive and negative connectors. Remove the dustproof caps and insert the positive and negative connectors into the corresponding positive and negative DC input terminals of the Sun 2000. Connecting the communications cables. Loosen the cable glands. Route the communication cables through the cable glands. Strip an appropriate length of the communication cables. Connect the cables to the terminal base. Connect the terminal base to the terminal block. Bundle the cables. Tighten the cable gland. Connecting the communications cables. Loosen the cable gland. Route the communications cables through the cable gland. Connect the cables to RJ45 connectors. Insert the connectors into RJ45 network ports. Bundle the cables. Tighten the cable gland. Verifying the installation. Check that the Sun 2000 is installed properly. Check that both DC switches are off. Check that the AC switch between the Sun 2000 and the power grid is on. Check that all ground cables are connected securely. Check that all AC output power cables are connected correctly and securely. Check that all DC input power cables are connected correctly and securely. Check that all communications cables are connected correctly and securely. Check that all cable glands in use at the bottom of the enclosure are sealed. Check that the AC terminal cover has been reinstalled. Check that the maintenance compartment door has been closed with its screws have been tightened. Check that unused cable glands, USB ports, and DC input terminals are covered with sealing caps. Powering on the Sun 2000. Set the AC switch between the Sun 2000 and the power grid to the on position. Set the DC switches on the Sun 2000 to the on position. Connect the Sun 2000 to your mobile phone over Bluetooth or a USB data cable. Enable Bluetooth connectivity on your phone. Download and install the Sun 2000 app. Log into the app and set parameters. Calibrating the 4G communication function. Set communications parameters. Remove the Bluetooth module or USB data cable. Press the buckle inward and remove the 4G module cover. Push the SIM card into the card slot. Reinstall the 4G module cover. Secure the 4G module. Observe the LED indicator on the 4G module.
Okay, so So I think this video has made a clear understanding of how to install and how to communications for the commissioners. And I will give you a quick glance of these slides. So this is the appearance. For example, this is the 36 and the 42, and I think they like the real one, the digital one. For it has 4 MPPTs and 2 AC output and 2 AC common ports. One AC put is reserved for the trackers to provide the balance, and also reserved for the trackers communications. So in this case, we can save the power cables and communication cables. So the traditional way is just layout. Just to use a power line, a power cable from the inverter stations, so transformer stations. So in this case, we can save some money on it. And this is the interface. Also, this is a appearance of 50. The big difference, it has more common ports and more MPPTs. And these protections we have. For example, we have input inside disconnection protections, also anti-isolation protections, overcurrent, over voltage, and reverse Part3 protections, and also some other protections. And as for the DC and AC surge protection, we take type 2. And also we can reduce, we can read the insulation values before we start our operations. And also we have supports RCDs. And this is a great models we support it. And from 8 KTO, 70 KTOs, we support TNS, TNC, TNCS, TT grade models, but we can't support ITs because it has to be 4 wires. But ITs only 3. ITs, as you can see from the last one, it only has 3 lines. So as for the others, for the 36, 42, and the 50 and the 65, we support all. And this is the dimensions and weight of our inverters. So just check it. And this installation procedures, I think the video shows very well. Just make sure we support wall mounted and rack mounted. Both will do. And as for the cabling, we should make sure all the cables are well connected. We can use, for example, for this N-flow H4 terminals, we can use we can hear the voice. If there's some tick voice, I think it's fine. It will, which means it will fit well. So it's the same with the 50 kilowatt inverters. But all the inverters, all the terminals should be used specified the tools to tighten. And this one is another one. We should, for example, we should just follow this checklist. And if you make a mistake, and wait until the weak light, and then just disconnect the strips. Otherwise, there will be some risk of electronic shock. And also replace it with the tools, with the special tools. And all these tools we can send to you with the inverters in a separate one. And this about the AC connection. We need to make sure that all the unused holes should be very well sealed. So in this case, we can prevent dust coming inside. I think it's the same. It's about the communications terminals. We can use IS45, and we can also use IG45. Both will do. But normally we recommend to use IS45. It's a normal way. It's very easy to install. And this about the communications. Normally, if there are few inverters on site, we can use the Bluetooth and just plug in the USB ports and download the Sun 2000 app, and then we can use this app to do the commissioning work. So just we can search the Sun 2000 app in Google Play and open it and open the Bluetooth function, and they will match each other, and after that you can open it. So normally we recommend to use, for example, we will find the Bluetooth, and if we cannot find it, we just use I think it's a normal way to find the Bluetooth devices with our phones. After that, we will select the users. We recommend to use advanced users, and you put the passwords. The original password is 508, so 00008. And then we just start to set the parameters. Traditionally, we will recommend to set 4 parameters: the grid code, the date, the time, and the address. And the grid codes, for example, for 8 bits projects, we have embedded 8-bit grid codes inside. Just choose it, you will find it. We have do the matching work with our inverters with grid code. So just choose it, and the date and the time, and for each inverter there will be our address, a communication address. So we should match each inverter's address. So in the future, it will help you to find the inverter quickly. And after that, if you miss this part, and this is the initial stage. After running several times, or sometimes you cannot find this interface. So you can just you can choose another way to find the inverters. You can use the advanced users and the settings and the future parameters and grid codes. We can do a lot. Protects the parameters. And for the communications, we set we also recommend to set all the parameters through the smart lock. If there's a lot of inverters, if there are few inverters, we can set one by one. But if there are a lot, we can do the configurations through the smart logger. Each smart logger will talk to all the inverters at the same time. So before we start, we should make sure the serial number and IS-45 address is match each other. So it will help you for the future maintenance, and it will help you to very easy to find the real inverters locations. So this is about the commissioning part. For the next, I want to show you the net ecosystems. I will show you the real dates. The PV project is located in Dubai and is owned by the master. We got authority from them to show your date to our clients. So I will show you the real net ecosystem to you. And right now, I think it's 4 o'clock. So there will be some real dates. One moment. Sorry. It depends on the speed, network speed. For every client, we will assign an account to you, and also you can manage your account. You can assign some of the authority to your, for example, to some local people, people who is on site. So you can set authority to them to see which kind of information cannot be seen, cannot be, for example, some of the operators cannot be done by themselves. So this. So this is a 1.2 megawatt PV project, and from the interface we can see there's some brief information of the PV projects. This is the information tree. We can find it. We will find that there will be one smart logger, and how many inverters are connected to this smart logger, and how this is the EMI. Totally we have 32 inverters are connected to this smart logger, and also one EMI connected to this. And this is I think it's about the for example, we can see the details of current days. So totally, we have generates 5,308 kilowatt hours this day. This is for today's till now. And also the total years start from the commissioning date. You can see totally we have generates more than I think 3 gigawatts kilowatt hours. And the total, this is the configurations. This is the configurations of the PV plant. successfully has installed this kilowatt. So if we input the unit price of electricity, we will calculate the income and how many social contributions we have built. For example, the carbon oxygen reduction. And this is the power statistic. You see that we will follow the science trees. The highest years comes to around 12 o'clock. And also, if we click each inverters, we will see each inverter's running date. You will see for example, for this inverters, it has collected 6 streams. And in each stream, we will see the voltage and the current, and also the actual power, and also the years for today, and also totally how many years have been created, and this is outputs. Sorry. And there's outputs. For example, every phase, the voltage and the current. And then if you have high authority, you can even stop this inverter remotely. And these are some details, the information about inverters. So it's 36 kilowatt inverters, and it starts from, you see, it starts from 6 o'clock this morning, and also there's a power factors of these inverters and the frequency. And if you need the inverter to generate some reactive power, you can set it through the smart logger. So that's why we can realize street level monitoring. It will tell you which streets is work very well, and which street is low efficiency or underperformance. As for the alarms, it will also record all the alarms, and then you can output the report. You can see the alarms, for example, they analyze. You can choose one of the inverters or by day dimension or week or month or year or totally you can choose. For example, if I choose, it will generate these curves. This one is the irradiance, and this one is the actual powers we generate. We found we always follow the irradiance. So which means we have a high efficiency of MPPT's tracker. This can ensure you high years. So we start from 6 o'clock and end at about 6:30. So it's a years. You can even choose. If you have more pure plants, you can choose. For example, you have one or two pure plants. You can even make a comparison between the two pure plants. So you will see which pure plants has more years, has more incomes. So you can make a decision on how to, for example, how to optimize your invest. And also for the maintenance. Also, if you buy the smart agricultural diagnosis license, you can do it. And you can download this the easy inverters date logger and do some analyze. So for example, we can download this and then we can send the performance data and validate to our headquarters to analyze the most probably cost of the inverter. And it also supports update the firmware and software remotely. And we can see the performance ratios. We can see the availabilities. We can even do the comparative analysis. We can choose, for example, we can choose some of inverters and then make a comparison about each inverter's performance. So it will help you to manage your pure plants. And this one, you can use your system to manage your pure plant. You can authority always assign some right to some kind of people to attend to access these projects. So, for example, you can assign the local O&M staff to manager to see just to monitor the dates, and they cannot have the right to change the settings, but you can. So in this case, it can help you to do the maintenance work. So this mostly the interface of our ecosystems. I think it's clear enough, right? Okay, so this end of this all my part, and if you have some issues, we can discuss.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we do a control monitor?
Control.
Control.
Yes, we can. If you have an advanced authority, you can even turn off the inverters.
Turn off.
Yeah, remotely. But if after you turn off, you need to send people on site to start again. It cannot be started remotely because it can be disconnected. But connect, you need people on site to connect the inverter to the grid.
It's okay. Is there any sensors for temperature outside?
Let me open the EMI devices. I think right now it may be 40 or about 40. You click here. You see the environment temperature is about 78 degrees. Morning temperature, you see, is about 55, 53. And the urinance, it depends on the EMI's date. You can find it. And the wind velocity is about. So if you have more Q plants, you can monitor it with one net ecosystem. You can monitor more than 6,000 devices totally for one net ecosystem. So totally, if you have 6,000 inverters, which means you can up to 100 or even more, even several hundred megawatts reporting size. So you can manage through one net ecosystem.
Is there any daily summary I can print it from this monitoring?
Which one?
Daily summary.
Daily summary.
Yeah.
We can output the historic date, performance date, maybe. See, for example, it's online, the total evidence, and this is for, we can choose one inverter. For example, today's or tomorrow's, okay? You will see the tomorrow's date, active power input, reactive power factors, grid frequency, each phrases status, and also we can output this number. And we will see when it starts. Because at the time, this is a midnight time that we not very easy to control. It can be showed in table and a graph, and then you can output. Where's output?
Minimize.
Yes, I mean you can output. Okay. And we will form a report to you. And also you can choose the plants levels report. Depends you. This is abstract. So for example, see, there will be some date. So every 5 minutes is a record.
5 minutes.
5 minutes level, you see. 40, 45, 50, 55.
Is it real time?
Yes.
Real time.
Yes, of course. This is already date. We can choose today's. That's it. You see, this today's right there.
I mean, if there is any delay between the
There will be some, yes, there will be some delay due to the communication time, because our smart logger will read the inverter date, and then our smart logger will transmit this date to our management system. I think it should be depends on the network. So totally, I think it's around should be less than 1,000 milliseconds. Depends on the network. But there will be some delay. But I think this can show the real performance of the inverters.
This is for daily report. I think,
Yes, we can choose daily.
I think also we can get monthly report.
Monthly, weekly, and yearly.
Yes.
Just then we can choose it.
I will talk like an EPC or a company, not for a whole. Like the questions that are always asked, like this net echo, you have to have like the smart logger at first, and then you can enter with the net echo. Does it have any fees to enter, or how long does it cost? How long does it take, or is it free for just a limited time, or for the warranty time of your inverters, or something like this? Because this is a question that is asked a lot.
You mean for the commercial part?
Yeah, even the residential. Yeah, residential, commercial, and utility, you have the net echo.
Echo.
Yes, you can enter with the net echo with the smart
Yes,
logger.
of course we can.
Yes.
Our smart logger are compatible for all of our products.
Yes.
But if, for example, for some other devices, for some other brand inverters, just make sure that their inverters take the standards protocol and open their product to us. You can take their information and show it in our management system. But they can realize stress levels because they can't provide this data to us. For example, maybe 16 stress level data. We can show it, but we cannot analyze it. But for our inverters, we can show it and analyze by ourselves. We can generate a report. But for others, just display the data.
Yes, like for example, I have an 8 kilowatt inverter, Huawei inverter, and I have a smart logger. Okay,
Yes.
so I can show it on my laptop at home with
Of course, you can even use your phone.
Yes, that's the thing.
You can even use your phone to show it. I have the app, so just download the app and you can.
And it's for free. This is the
Yes, this is for free.
It's all for free, and it's not for a limited time.
Yes.
Yes, this
And
is the most
the only
important.
charge is the IRCO license. But for example, for 1 megawatt pure plant, maybe charging 500 installers per year. So it's lots of big money. But it will help you to diagnose all the panels' informations. So it's very useful.
$500 per year for
Per year for 1 megawatt.
Yeah, for a 10 kilowatt.
10 times 10.
No, 10 kilowatt.
10 kilowatts should be $5.
Is it $5 or is it free or is it?
No. If you buy it, it will charge you on the capacities.
Yes.
I mean the pure project capacities. But I think for 10 kilowatts, I think I can help you to apply for free just for test for 1 year for the first year.
Yeah. So we can have like a preliminary, or not with the net echo, just to have the yields and overall performance of our plants or something like this.
Yes.
It's for free
Yes.
with your application.
Yes.
But with the net echo, then we will have to be charged.
But you should make sure you should use our inverters,
Yes,
our
of
smart
course.
loggers,
Yeah,
and
of
our
course.
monitoring system. So it's for us it's a package solution you can choose. So.
Yeah. So, is there any questions regarding the fees or something, or the interconnections between the smart loggers?
Hello. First of all, I want to ask about the compatibility of using this monitoring system with other systems like Aurora or anything like this. Is it compatible with other systems?
As I mentioned before, it depends on the product, transmission protocols, or for example, if they all take the standards Modbus protocols and open their product to us, we can read it. We can show their dates on our monitoring system, but we cannot ensure that or guarantee that we can do the analyze. We just show their dates. But if you use our inverters, it will be because it will provide more dates to our system. So based on the big data analyze and our algorithm, so we can do some analyze work for you. But for other brands, we just show their dates and it displays on the system. We can't do the analyze work because the data source is less than us.
Sorry, I didn't get the point, but is it compatible with?
Yes, it's compatible. It's compatible. Just their product open to us as standard one.
there is something else is with the weather station.
Weather stations we don't provide it, but we have some recommended brands you can choose to use.
It's not from the recommended. It's applicable with the smart logger, or you have to set up manually.
Because why we recommend some brands, because we have to do a lot of tests, and we can work very well with them. So that's why we recommend some brands. Also, you can at the same time you can use your own brand, but maybe there's some communication problems. Yes. So we should reduce this risk.
In the beginning of the day, we saw a small video about the soiling identification and the drone. Is it available for that software also?
Soiling?
Soiling on the surface of the panel.
I think it should be, if the weather station is powerful enough, can you put this? We can display it, but no, this state.
Utilities like?
Utilities, I think it's the same, no. For the soiling depends on the local environment. Maybe it should be, I think it should be evaluated by local or historical date, metro date. So that's why you can say just 2% solids or 3% solids. And even, for example, if you are trying to use a cleaner robot, you can ensure that you can clean every day. So maybe it's dropped to 0.5%. So it can be shown on this water system. It depends on the design, it depends on the materials lane.
And also the drone with the hotspot?
Hotspot is through the Huawei curve diagnosis, we can find it.
Is there any questions?
I want to ask about how can we adjust the output of the inverter to meet the utility AC power for Egypt,
Sorry, can you repeat?
to the grid of Egypt.
Grade code? Yes, we can. I mean, for every country, we have analyzed their country's grade codes. We have do a lot of compatible work before we launch our products for example, to Egypt. We make sure that our inverter is compatible with grade codes. We have do a lot of tests in headquarters. And if you want, and if you need it, we can send the test report to you. I mean, for example, the high voltage rise through, low voltage rise through, and the frequency, response time, a lot. We have to do a lot of tests and make sure that we meet grid code. So we have to do a lot. So I think we meet the local requirement.
Also, can we adjust the minimum and the maximum of the output voltage or frequency or
Of course.
any of these ratios?
Yes. So, for example, if there's a 110% high over voltage limiting here, we just follow the curve. Follow the curve the grid code provided. So we 100% sure we just follow the curve. So I think we meet the local requirement. And even for the large projects, for example, we can provide, for example, for the inverters, some Dixieland or PSSE modules, and to do the whole Q plant analyze for the grid impact study. So we can provide this to you if you need it, and just to make sure that our inverters meet local requirement. So I don't think there will be a problem for us for these issues.
Also the power factor.
Power factors, yes, we support. For our inverter, we support 0.8 leading and lagging.
With that
Huh?
Could I adjust it with the application?
Yes, you can set this value on through our smart logger. Set the power factors.
No, but without the data logger, also with the application?
No. Should it be use our smart logger? And if you don't use it, and we are also compatible, we will open our the Modbus protocol to other communications machine like our smart logger. We will open this information to them and ask them to control our inverter. But we don't recommend it this way.
Again, I'm speaking about like small systems, which we are doing every day, you know, like residential 10 kilo, 20 kilo, and so on. Maybe we don't want to invest, or the customer does not want to invest in a data logger.
Yes.
We just need to adjust the power factor for the requirements of the grid utility.
Right now, we for every small project, it should be a smart logger 1000. And but for the futures. For the futures, products like some of the products supports 4G or wireless double line communications. In this case, it can remove the smart logger.
Okay, this is for power factor and so on, and also
Yes,
for
of course.
the monitoring, correct?
Yes.
And also for the online monitoring.
Yes.
But up till
But
now,
you should make sure the data can be transmitted to the public network.
Yeah,
So the signal should be strong enough and to support you to transmit the data.
But up till now, even the smallest inverters are,
We should use,
are not possible to go to the portal or for online monitoring unless using an external data.
Yes, right. Okay. You're right. Okay.
Hi, my question is about the possibility of integration of some other kinds of meteor control sensors. So, for example, I know that Huawei has this also all-in-one weather station that can be integrated with these data loggers. But of course, this is feasible for the big solar farms. But I'm asking about others. And whether or not these data loggers can they calculate the performance ratio?
Yes, if we collect, for example, we collect the one size of the irradiation date and plus the PV plants configurations. For example, how many panels we have installed and how many inverters and the irradiations numbers. So we can calculate it through our algorithm. And you mentioned as for the weather stations, theoretically we compatible to all the third-party devices. Just make sure your protocol is compatible to ours. The protocol is compatible to ours, so we can realize it and calculate the performance ratio for you. It can be showed, can be calculated.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. If you have any issues, you can. I think our partner can collect all the questions you are concerned, and then you can forward this to me, and I think I will reply to them as soon as possible. So also I will show this our presentations and slides to our partners, and then we will distribute it to you. So let's keep in touch, and that's all. And thanks for coming and your time. Okay.
Thank you. One last thing. Yes. Today we are honored to have the largest rooftop project with Huawei Inverters with our partner Cairo Solar, who already had the contract signed with Huawei Inverters at 370 kilowatts. So it will be our honor. We had them a prize today. I think Engineer Tamer is here. So please come and take what we're having here. Just a thing for you. This is the first, and we'll have like a milestone. I don't know if Nader will make it and make it more. Okay, so we'll have it on our website, by the way, for like who will be the largest, and then like a milestone, and hope inshallah we'll get more and more. This is the thing, and at last I will say like by Arabic at the end. طبعا بشكر حضراتكم كلكم EPCs, consultants, even contractors. النهارده كان معانا ناس even fresh graduates, حتى even طلبة. احنا كإنرسيسكوم دي رسالتنا عموما للماركت. احنا بنحب دايما ان احنا ندي technical prospects للعملاء بتوعنا، لان احنا دايما بنحب نديليفر كواليتي. مش مهم، احنا دايما زي ما انا قلت حتى في الاول، احنا دايما اسعارنا غاليه. دي حقيقه، احنا ما بنروحش نجيب ده شيبست. انا ممكن اروح ابيع وكله كده. احنا السوق المصري بتاعنا طبعا حضراتكم عارفين، بس احنا دايما بنشوف الريلايبل برودكت، ريلايبل حتى ايفن في التشاينيز. احنا بنتكلم كحاجه ريلايبل، بنتكلم على ناس موجوده ان شاء الله ال 10 years اللي جايين، موجودين ال 20 years اللي جايين. دي حاجه مهمه جدا احنا ما بنبصش عليها عموما، احنا بنبص بس دلوقتي كل واحد تحت رجلينا في الاول خالص. اتس اوكي خلاص برايس وايز يلا بينا. طب الشركه دي قدام هتبقى عامله ازاي كمان 20 سنه؟ طب اديني وارنتي، طب اديني كذا. لا احنا ما بنفكرش في الكلام ده قدام، بنفكر في احنا كإنرسيسكوم. احنا بنقعد بشهور قبل ما نمضي كونتراكت، يعني احنا بندرس كل حاجه، PV بانل، انفرتر، كل حاجه، مين اللي احنا نمضي معاه، احنا نعمل بارتنرشيب معاه، لان دي مش حاجه سهله. دي حاجه احنا بنفكر ككاستمر الاول قبل ما احنا اوريدي. يعني انا لازم احط نفسي مكان العميل بتاعي عشان اديله احسن بيرفورمانس واحسن خدمه، لان ده اللي هيفيد بعد كده، وهيفيدني انا كشركه، وهيفيد الاي بي سي اللي انا بتعامل معاه. فانا بشكركم كلكم النهارده على تواجدكم معانا. يعني من غيركم الايفنت ده ما كانش هيبقى الحمد لله بالتوفيق ده وبالنجاح ده. وان شاء الله يعني من ورك شوب لورك شوب ومن سيمينار لسيمينار، سواء ورك شوب بعد كده ان شاء الله هتكون عندنا في المكتب، او ايفن سيمينارز بعد كده هتبقى اكتر شويه معانا في انرسيسكوم. يعني هنطور شويه، هنزود الورك شوبس، هتبقى دي السياسه المتبعه. وان شاء الله يعني انا بشكركم تاني، شكرا ليكم جدا، وان شاء الله يعني من بروجكت لبروجكت وتقدم لتقدم دايما يا رب. شكرا ليكم جدا. اخر حاجه بس معلش، كان في كويشنير معاكم كل حد استلمه تقريبا. يعني it would be appreciated لو نفيل الفورم، يعني عشان احنا حتى نطور من ادائنا. فبليز لو في امكانيه بعد اذنك. شكرا ليكم جدا. اللانش ان شاء الله في نفس القاعه زي ما احنا ان شاء الله.